Hey guys, so I'm just wanting to come on here to kind of talk about a topic that I spoke about in the past. I mean, it's no secret that I'm really not real big on the interracial dating thing. Here's my thing. I feel like people should date whoever they want to date. Although it is not my thing to date interracially, people can do whatever they want to do. My thing is, with any relationship, you should date for a purpose. You should not be just dating anyone just to date them. Specifically, when it comes to black people and interracial dating between white people, I really feel like you shouldn't just be dating just to be dating. But it seems as though a lot of the black men and black women that choose to date interracially, it really seems like they're just dating for the sake of dating a white person. To me, if you're going to date down or if you're going to date your oppressor, then you should be getting the maximum benefit out of it that you could possibly get. This is not occurring, and so to me, it simply doesn't make any sense. Right now, and I think we all know that interracial dating between white people and black people is at an all-time high. We all know that. Many black people in general, men and women, but mainly black men for the most part, and I think they go about doing it a complete different way than black women do. But mainly black men specifically, and some black women are very aggressive advocates for interracial dating, and yet not much has changed in the structure of white supremacy and systematic racism. That's my first problem. In fact, white supremacy actually seems to have increased, and the structure of institutional racism is very solid. So, black people tend to, from my perspective, do everything off of emotion, while white people think strategy. When a white person, it seems, thinks about dating a black person, they think about how they can benefit from it. And you can sit here and say that they don't. You can have whatever opinion that you want on it. But at the end of the day, if you look at the overall structure of what's going on in America, white people are probably benefiting more from dating black people than the reverse. And while some people are kind of getting some type of benefit, they may feel like that benefit, they're getting a benefit. 9 times out of 10 for the black people is solely based emotionally. They're getting an actual tangible benefit, because when a white person dates a black person, even if that benefit is only sexually, they're actually upgrading. If you look at in the media, when you see these black men who are dating white women, 9 times out of 10, he's required to upgrade her situation. If he does not have a lot of money, if he doesn't have a lot of power, if he doesn't have the wealth, she is not going to be with him if she is considered a high-class white woman. You rarely ever in mainstream see a black man with a white woman that is considered a high-class white woman. You only see this on television, and when you do, this man is required to be able to upgrade her situation, at least financially. Otherwise, she's just not dating him. Look at all of these people like Tiger Woods. Even Cuba Gooding Jr. is actually a great example. His wife is disgusting. She's beyond disgusting. But even still, she's benefiting far more from being with Cuba Gooding Jr. than Cuba Gooding Jr. would ever benefit from being her. She is 100% benefiting. Even though she literally looks like Shrek, she is benefiting because Cuba Gooding Jr. at the end of the day is probably just with that white woman just for the sake of being with a white woman, or because he feels like there's going to be some kind of perceived acceptance, or somehow he's thinking he's going to get a benefit, but he's not getting a tangible benefit because it's really not doing anything for him. His talent is doing stuff for him, but him dating the white woman isn't. However, if Cuba Gooding Jr. was to die today, that disgusting looking white woman would get all of she would reap all the rewards of Cuba Gooding Jr.'s success simply because she's his wife and she's married to him. So at the end of the day, just based off of that alone, she's benefiting more, because if she left Cuba Gooding Jr., she still has a white supremacist structure to back her. She still has her white privilege. He does not. Let him do something wrong and you're going to see exactly how much he doesn't. Take Tiger Woods, for example. Tiger Woods decided to cheat on his wife with a bunch of disgusting trailer park white women, probably just because he wants to be with a white woman. And look at the ramifications of it. The white wife that he was married to, she still got a great percentage of his earnings. He actually lost a lot of monetary endorsement. His reputation went down in the hole. They completely trashed him for doing something that literally every man does, rich or poor, famous or not. He simply cheated on her how many other white people do you see cheating on their spouses as well? But at the end of the day, the situation was more beneficial for that white woman than it was for Tiger Woods. And had Tiger Woods not had that success and that wealth, he wouldn't have even had that white woman. So that's number one. So I feel like white people tend to think strategy even when they are dating black people. It appears that they think, how can I benefit from this black person and maintain white supremacy and white privilege while I'm doing it? And most often, they are able to do that. They really are able to do that. They're still doing it. Black people, however, it seems, specifically the men, they tend to think, how can I boost my self-esteem and gain acceptance by the very group of people that enslaved and brutalized my ancestors and are currently doing it to my people? The thing that I think a lot of black men don't understand, when you are dating a white woman because you want to get some acceptance, you're basically saying that I'm going to date this white woman so that my competition, which is a white man who holds all the wealth and power in the country, so that this white man will see that I'm able to actually get a white woman. The thing of it is what they're not even considering. If white men hadn't already seen some benefit to you dating white women, do you think that they would actually be allowing you to do it? Because the only reason that you're able to do it currently is because they're allowing you to. And you can sit there and debate it all you want to, but prior to the Civil Rights Act, if you looked at a white woman, you were dead. So clearly now we already established that you're dating white women because white men are letting you do that. So why you feel like it's a benefit to go out and seek a white woman simply so you can get the very acceptance from the people that are allowing you to do it, because it's to their advantage? Because if you look at the dynamic of the relationship with the black man and the black woman. Black men currently are literally the most targeted and disenfranchised group of men on the planet. Despite the fact that they are the most willing to date outside of their race and date white women at a disproportionately higher rate than black women date white men, because there are some black women that do date white men, and they do it for some of those same emotional reasons, wanting to be accepted, feeling special because another group of men selected them, when most often when white people are looking at black people, it's for sexual purposes anyway, so that they can sexualize you, they can upgrade their sexual experiences, but generally it doesn't move outside the realms of that for a black person. They don't get upgraded the same way that the white people do. So despite the fact that these black men are the most disenfranchised group of people on the planet, the prison systems are literally flooded with black men. Black men are 20 times more likely than a white man or a black woman to be shot and killed by the police. They're still the most impoverished group of men on the planet, and yet they're still the men that are the most likely to date outside of their race, and they are the men that are the most likely to be dating a white woman. And so my thing of it is that what tangible benefit are you getting, black men and black women, when you date interracially? What tangible benefit are you getting? And my thing is that in any relationship, regardless of the color of the person, there should be an exchange of tangible and intangible benefits. And when I say those intangible benefits, it means grow you as a person. It means give you spiritual growth, give you certain other developments that you can sit there and think a tangible can be you being able to utilize someone else's good credit, or maybe them throwing you a couple dollars here and there. But when you look at the structure and the organization of America, what are you getting out of dating interracially? Because I don't understand how there's all this racism still going on and festering, and yet black people are still steady dating white people. The very group of people that are perpetuating your oppression are the ones that you're getting with. And I don't care if, the men want to come on here and say, oh, well, you're blaming people now in 2016 for the same thing that people were doing hundreds of years ago. That doesn't matter, because these are still the children of those same people that were oppressing you. These are the children and the grandchildren of the same men and women that were hanging you from trees and cutting your dicks off, black men. These are the children and the grandchildren of the people that literally after church would hold events to torture and kill you. So the fact of the matter is that you think because they're laying up with you, something has somehow changed. But if you look at the overall structure, Nothing has changed. They are getting more out of you than you are getting out of them. Now, I know there's going to be people who are going to put in the comments and they're going to say, oh, she wish she could be with a white man, or she's just jealous of white women. So let me just put this out there first. Number one, I've never dated a white man, never would. Number two, in the event when I did entertain a white man, he was paying me to do it. I don't walk out the house for a white person unless some money is involved in it. If I'm going to date down, and I think as a black woman, I would be dating down if I chose to date a white man. So, if I'm going to be dating down, you can best believe some hair is going to get bought for all of you who want to sit here and mention weave the white trolls. If I wanted you to, you would be buying it. Now, here's the thing. Whenever I did entertain a white dude, and that's just entertaining you, that doesn't mean you're going to get any physical benefits. I'm not going to kiss you. I'm not going to have sex with you. You might get a hug out of me, but that's just as far as it's going. So, whenever I did do that, best believe some money was involved in it. They were either directly getting me the money, buying stuff for me, my sisters, and whoever else I wanted to buy them to, paying some bills, or all of the above. Now, so that's to me, if I'm going to deal with my oppressor, because at the end of the day, these white people have their best interests at heart. They don't have mine. At the end of the day, if they walk away from me, they're still going to be white. They're still going to have white privilege. They're still going to have a system that's designed to keep them ahead of me because they're white, and because I'm a black woman, that system is designed to keep me on the bottom. So my thing is, even if I do entertain you, you can best believe I'm going to have a lot of tangible benefits. I don't even care at this point about the intangible benefits, because that's not what I'm with you for. Since I know that you want to sexualize, fetishize me, and try to upgrade whatever situation, be it something meaningless as sex, you can best believe I'm going to get more out of it than you are. You're not even going to get sex, but I'm still going to get something out of you. So that's number one. Number two, if I wanted to date a white man, including the white trolls that will be in the comments, please do believe that that could happen if I wanted it to. The only reason why it's not is because I don't date down. That's what it is. I don't date just to date someone. So if I'm going to date, especially a white man, you can best believe I'm going to be one of the number one women on this earth that do not want for nothing. Bills are going to be paid. Credit is going to be perfect. Okay, I'm not going to want for anything. All of my stuff is going to be upgraded, because there's no point in me being with my oppressor. And I don't care if you say they weren't slaving you. They are still contributing to your oppression simply by being white. Most of the time, these white women and white men that you're dating don't even want you to talk to them about racism, let alone engage them in fighting against it for you. And that's really just the way it is. How many times have I seen with white women and white men on Facebook who are in relationships with black people and have children with them, but also trying to perpetuate white supremacy? Also, who are trying to check these black people that they're dating for putting anti-racist stuff on their Facebook. How many times have we seen white people that are actually having children call into these black empowerment shows trying to talk down to these people because they're talking out against racism? So most of the time, they don't even want you to mention it to them. They want you to pretend like racism doesn't even exist. They're certainly not going to be fighting it on your behalf. How many white people have you seen go out actively and aggressively advocating for black people to get reparations? How many times have you seen white people going out actively saying, hey, we've literally spent hundreds of years disenfranchising this group of people. We're still doing it. Why don't we try to change it? How many white people do you see doing that? Because I don't see too many, and a lot of them are still laid up with black people. A lot of them are still having kids with black people, but none of them are willing to change this structure so that it actually benefits you. And that's what I'm talking about, because it makes no sense to me that you have all of these black men and black women out here advocating for interracial dating, literally going out here posting up how they prefer their oppressor to their own group of people, and nothing on an economic level has changed for you. Because you can sit there and say as a black man that you can be a coon and get a white woman and she might buy you some Jordans or throw you a little bit of money, but the minute that she walks away, she still has her white privilege to rely on, and you are still just as broke, dusty as you were when you got with her initially. You haven't upgraded anything. And the reason I say broke and dusty, because really I have yet to see a black man Mind you, I am in Washington State, okay? So Washington State probably, of any state, has the highest interracial dating. I'm not going to say that it does, but the majority of the relationships that I see in the couples out here are black men with white women. Now, he's still as dusty as he was before, after he got with her, when he got with her. He's still as dusty. So I see this all the time, and I've never once seen a black man or known of a black man who was with a white woman that I would say, oh my God, that white woman is so beautiful and attractive, I can see why he's with her. What I see is they are either with overweight, obese, nasty, trifling looking white women, or they are with coked out, skinny, meth head looking white women with sores all over her face. So the thing of it is most of these black men are dating these white women for emotional reasons. If you are doing this because you want a sense of self-esteem to show the world that you actually can get a white woman, which is really not hard. I can get a white woman. Actually, when I go out, the people that I get hit on by the most are white men, white women, and Asian men. Now, so my thing of it is anybody can get a white woman. Literally, they have a reputation for being extremely easy. So how are you doing something by showing basically white men, because that's who you would be proving it to, how are you doing something by showing a white man that you can get a white woman that he's actually, if you think about it, allowing you to date to begin with? Because again, let's double back. Prior to the civil rights movement, you weren't able to do that. You will lose your life. Some of you are still losing your life currently. So, how are you doing something by proving to a white man that you can get a white woman that he's allowing you to get? He already knows that you can get a white woman because he's allowing you to do it. The moment that he does not want you with a white woman, you won't be with one. Okay? Because all they had to do is fight and not pass that civil rights law, and then you still would be in the same situation that you were in. Not having sex with white women, but then white men would still be having access to black women because they've always had access to black women. Even when we didn't even want it, they still had access to it. But you didn't. You weren't able to. So now you want to go out and show the world that you're able to get a white woman. Meanwhile, you having this white woman is doing nothing to change your oppressed situation. You are still the most disenfranchised man on the face of the planet. And I just don't understand how you guys are all running around in these relationships and not getting anything out of it. Like, that makes no sense to me. At this point, really, white people are benefiting mostly off of you, because here's the thing. Most of the black people who are even in these interracial relationships, they alienate their community. They shun and slam the people of their community. They'll talk a whole bunch of shit about black people, whether it's men or women. They surely will do that. They'll coon out. They'll let white people steal your culture. You will let them have sex with you. You will let them do whatever you want to, and you actually have to give up a lot of who you are spiritually, psychologically, and physically. You have to give up stuff to even be with that person, and you're getting absolutely nothing in return. You're getting nothing of any importance in return. So that's my thing, because a lot of people will say, oh, you should be able to love whoever you want to. You should, but most of you are not in these situations because of love. You're in them because of low self-esteem and trying to vie for the acceptance of a group of people that's not going to accept you. So when you get in here and you get in the comments and you make your comments, that's fine. Comment all you want to. I want to know, what tangible benefit are you getting from dating white people? Date them all you want to. I'm just saying, how is that changing the structure of racism that is against you as a black person? Because that's why it doesn't make any sense. And that's one of the reasons why I've said, I don't need to date a white person. I don't need to date a white person, because at the end of the day, if me dating that person isn't going to change this structure of white supremacy and institutionalized racism, then why am I with you? And that's why I'm looking at these people, black man or black woman, and I'm thinking you a joke, because you live in the most racist country, and you're literally dating the very people who are oppressing you. It makes no sense to me. I don't even know in their mind if they're thinking and just laughing at how stupid you are, because this is just one other way that slavery is still going on. You might as well just be a sexual slave, because at the end of the day, that's where their interest starts at. They might start liking you for other reasons down the road, but initially, you cannot convince me that initially when a white woman sees a black man, the first thing that she probably wants wants to do is get some black dick. Because at the end of the day, that is what your reputation is as a black man, is being an upgrade sexually. You are seen as an upgrade sexually, and really, I don't need to have a sex with a white man to know that you are sexually superior and that you do have sex better than a white man. I don't need to have sex with a white man to know that. So, that's understandable to a degree that they do want to go out and have sex with you. That's fine. However, why is it that when you get up out of that bed, you're still going to be the most disenfranchised man on the planet? Why is it that when you get up out of that bed from having sex with a black man, with a white man, black women, you still run the risk of getting brutalized by another white man? How is that the case? How is that the case with these black men, that when you get out of that relationship with a white woman, you still have nothing? You are still the most unemployed group of people on the planet. How is it that that's okay? You think that makes sense? That you are with this group of people, you're advocating for being your right to be with these group of people, you're vying for the acceptance of this group of people, you're procreating, building, you think you're building, you're procreating, building with this person, and yet you have nothing structure-wise to show from it, because you're still in the same situation that you were and that you have been. You can struggle with your own group of people. You can be disenfranchised with another black person, but if you're with a white person, to me, you should be coming up. Some things should be changing. On the whole, there is enough interracial relationships where each person, whether man or woman, can be trying to get some system issues changed so that black people can have more benefits economically. But that's not happening because you're just dating just to be dating. And I don't understand that. So my question to you is, what tangible benefit on an economic and a system scale, what tangible benefit are you getting from dating white people, or are you just dating them just to be dating them? Because then you really need to ask yourself, why am I okay with all this racism going on in the country, but at the end of the day, at night, I go lay up with someone who's benefiting off of my oppression? That's what you should be asking yourself. Because again, regardless to what relationship you are in, you should be getting, it's a give and take. So you should be getting some kind of benefit regardless to what relationship that you are in. And it should not be sexual because you can have sex with anyone. That's not important, and it's quite meaningless if you look at the grand scheme of it. So, system-wise and systemically, what benefit, tangible, are you getting from dating white people? That's just what I want to know. Because they're getting benefits. They're getting lots of benefits. They've already stole everything from you, including your culture and your identity. They're going to get their booty injected, lips injected, titties injected to look like you. But what are you getting? What are you getting? Because the prison system are still full of black men. You still can rarely get a job. You're the most unemployed man on the earth. Black women, we still have our issues. We still have a media demonizing it and showing us as just the most undesired woman. Meanwhile, you guys are running out here happy to date white men. So what are you getting in return from it? Because they're getting everything out of it. What do you get out of it? Besides you convincing yourself that it somehow does something to your self-esteem. That's not tangible. That's not anything that's going to be lasting, because you're deluding yourself at the end of the day. If you look at reality, what you think you're getting from it, you're actually not getting from it. So, again, what tangible benefit are you getting from dating white people? You should just be asking yourself that, because I guarantee you, they know what they're getting out of dating you. Like, comment, and subscribe, and share the video.